Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to encourage members of the public to get vaccinated. In its bid to do so, the ministry has to contend with pushback from anti-vaxxers and a great deal of skepticism that the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association says is worrying. Hot 7 TV News took to the streets to find out from members of the public whether they will be taking the COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, I'm not too sure, but if it becomes a must where I have to take it for certain reasons, I will. But to just like walk in and just say, well, I really need it, I don't think I'll do that. But if it becomes a must where I need it for certain reasons, just like we have our ID card, it's a must, we need the ID card. And we have other documents, it's a must, we need it. And if it becomes a must in this way, that's the only way I'll take it.
I have no reason why I'm not taking that.
I'm
afraid of doctors, so I'm not taking that. I'm not going to doctor. Every time you go to a doctor, you see.
No, I will be taking no COVID vaccine.
Why?
Because I'm not sick. I'm not sick. Why should I take a vaccine I'm not sick?
No, I will not take that vaccine. That's making you go mad.
Why?
Making you go mad.
Sure, if I'll take the vaccine.
Why?
I don't know much about it. We don't know much about it as yet.
Well, not too sure about it yet. Just waiting and see what's going on. You know, because I'm not too sure if the COVID vaccine is actually what I should take. Because the Most High build your immune system, He gives you the immune system to evacuate viruses and illnesses and all that. So why should I take the COVID vaccine?
The St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association has expressed optimism over the possibility of a Cuban vaccine being approved for use in the near future. Researchers are working long shifts on Cuba's best shot to solve its coronavirus crisis and potentially help other nations. President of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Merle Clark, says she has every confidence that Cuba's vaccine trials will be successful and the nation will move swiftly to assist regional countries.
One of the 4 vaccines developed by Cuban scientists will enter its final phase of testing next month, a crucial step towards regulatory approval that, if successful, could put the island on the path to inoculate its entire population. The hope of a vaccine for the country is even more critical as its COVID-19 statistics are grim, recording over 100 deaths in February. With Cuba's long alliance with regional countries, the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association is hopeful that the vaccine trials will be successful and the island will move to help other countries once its situation has been controlled.
Cuba's effort is not surprising to any of us who studied in Cuba, who lived in Cuba, in my case for 10 years, that Cuba would have their own vaccine candidates. And so far, we know that there have been 4. And the one which shows the most promise is Soberana Dos. And Soberana in Spanish means sovereignty. And that is what the Cuban people are. They are a proud people. And as I said before, a resilient people. So the Soberana Dos goes into the 3rd phase trials in the coming days, the coming weeks. And they're hoping certainly that by later this month, they will be able to ramp up production. And we have every faith that the Cuban Vaccine Institute in Havana will be able to get that done because they take pride. The healthcare system in Cuba is their pride and joy. They believe in free healthcare for all, ensuring that their population is the most healthy population possible.
Cuba's investment in public health has given rise to dozens of medical research institutions and a surplus of doctors, which Cuba sends to other countries on medical missions. Medical practitioners in St. Lucia and the region have also been trained in Cuba. Dr. Clark says that Cuba has continued to lend its support to St. Lucia, and she's certain that this time would be no different.
And certainly that would be able to benefit us, the Latin American countries, because that's what Cuba has done. When it comes to healthcare, no other country in the world compares to Cuba in terms of how they have helped this region, the region of the Americas, including the United States, mind you. So further sanctions on Cuba with the previous Trump administration, that hasn't detained them. They are seeing a huge spike in numbers of cases of COVID-19. February really, unfortunately, has been the deadliest month with 108 deaths in Cuba. but they really are working hard at this vaccine, and there's little doubt in my mind that we will be able to benefit from it, and we fully support Cuba's efforts.
In the coming weeks, the island's domestically produced COVID-19 vaccine, Soberano Dos, will be tested on tens of thousands of volunteers. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you, Nisha. One business owner is calling on the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to intervene and put better patrol measures in place in the city of Castries following a string of burglaries on Jeremy Street. He says a lot more needs to be done to aid individuals who are simply trying to make an honest living. Genevieve Gonzague tells us more in this report.
In the past 4 months, 4 business places on Jeremy Street, Castries have fallen prey to burglary. One businessman is crying out to law enforcement officers to patrol the area more frequently, particularly now, given that business places are closing earlier due to COVID-19 and the current curfew.
There are free shops broken under the CDC, and the law are finding, long time police would have sleeping in rubbish to arrest man for a 5 bag too, implement a little sting or something. You mean to tell me poor people getting victimized and no help from the law? The law not saying, yeah, we arrest, apprehend burglars or robbers. The law assists us. You'll have wardens ready to kill people for mass in town. Assist these small business owners on Jeremy Street with their shop and people breaking into our business. Stop having warders to harass people for mass and trying to help us in our security of our business, because we cannot employ a security nighttime because they don't have no curfew, right? So we need some security on Jeremy Street. That is what I see. More security on Jeremy Street for the small business owners.
He says he has seen some very distasteful comments from members of the public when it comes to the issues of the burglaries, and believes that this practice should be ceased.
No security on Jeremy Street for small business owners that are trying to have something, and government want to implement shutdown. People talking about somebody, I view a comment on Facebook or whatever, somebody saying about whether vagrants are sleeping on the streets. Is vagrant security for people shop? You understand? If the police, if they put a curfew or a lockdown, at least provide security for the people shop, man.
The bar owner says the current atmosphere in St. Lucia is wrought with partisan politics. However, differences should be put aside if livelihoods are being affected.
The criminals not watching who's party in power. The criminals attacking everybody. So everybody have to come together and look to do something. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that.
He says the impact of COVID-19 is bad enough. Therefore, individuals should really focus on working together. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
One restaurant owner spoke with Hot 7 TV News about how he feels given that the protocols have been revised for the restaurant and food establishment sector. Restaurants are now allowed to offer dining services within the hours of 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. The owner of Carol's Kitchen says this move is welcome.
Following a NEMARC meeting in February, COVID-19 protocols were revised to allow restaurant owners to provide dining services to members of the public within the stipulated hours of 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Due to COVID-19, food establishments had been restricted to strictly take-out services during a surge in cases. The managing director of Carol's Kitchen, Dennis Leo, says he is more than pleased with the announcement of relaxed protocols.
Certainly, it's welcome news. I mean, many people in St. Lucia who dine on a daily basis, they want to know they have the pleasure of sitting in the air condition to consume their meals. And when you give them the option of simply taking it to go, they are not very pleased with that. They are very, to them, nah, it's better I just have food at my home. It's better I just take my own, if that's what I'm going to do, go back to my workplace. I don't want to be in the workplace to eat. I prefer to go to establishment, pay to eat, sit, have a drink, stretch my leg, and make my lunch a very exciting one.
He says although limited, this new stipulation is definitely going to help small business owners like him earn more money.
I mean, for my establishment, for sure. I mean, anybody who knows Carol's Kitchen will know that on a daily basis, lunchtime, Carol's Kitchen is packed up and filled with people sitting and enjoying the ambience, the nice condition, taking in all of the comforts of Carol's Kitchen. So, I mean, I want to say hats off to those who are responsible for making that decision. And I want to tell them that it was a very timely one. And I do appreciate the fact that it came. And I'm sure all of the other restaurateurs in St. Lucia are certainly agreeing with me that it is indeed welcome news for all of us. I know it's going to indeed add to our normal finances at the end of the day. Surely we'll be losing a lot every time somebody grab, they go. They don't sit and enjoy all of those drinks and foods, and sometimes somebody come in and that would force them to have some extra drinks just because they're sitting there. And all of that generates revenue for the business and keeps the business afloat.
Leo urges his fellow counterparts in the restaurant sector to adhere to all COVID-19 protocols. He says safety must be the main priority for restaurant owners, staff, and their customers. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Overzealous, aggressive, untrained. These are just some of the criticisms leveled against peace officers or COVID-19 wardens, as they have come to be known, from some members of the public. The Acting Police Commissioner, the Police Welfare Association, and others within the ranks of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force have all come out in defense of the actions of the wardens and appealed to the public to show them the utmost respect. But civil engineer, noted social and political commentator John Peters believes the wardens do indeed need to temper their actions.
From what I have seen so far, the wardens have not only been engaged in activities related to COVID, I think they have been also engaged in activities related to crime. So the question is, which we shouldn't have a problem with. I would want to suggest that the approaches be a little bit softer. Some of the images that we have seen, one wondered whether it was St. Lucia you're looking at in terms of the sort of force that was used to restrain individuals. And you would always get that reaction from those that are around when you exercise a level of force for what they see as a small matter. And when you listen to the videos and you listen to the comments by the bystanders, you get the impression that the general understanding or general belief is that it is an overreaction to a particular matter.
Peters believes there is need for greater communication skills when dealing with members of the public. He believes that most people are following the mask protocol.
By and large, if you go through Castries, there's a high degree of compliance I have noticed. You're driving and you look across on the sidewalks, and there is a high level of compliance within the society for the use of masks in public spaces. And the minor infractions, or the small number that may, for whatever reason, either forget to lift up their mask or leave it under the chin, I think there's a softer approach that can be used. And I think over time, the ones may become more effective if they are seen as supporting a public health policy than moving into a crime scenario there.
That was engineer and social and political commentator John Peters. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's much more coming up after the break.